Woo! What's going on? Good morning and welcome to the Start Thinking Forward Morning Podcast. I am your host, Brandon L. Draper, coming to you live this morning. Wake up, and wake up. So this morning we got a very powerful message, and we just want to go ahead and dive into it for the 2020 vision. So one of the things that I talked about yesterday is that there are a lot of talking heads and a lot of noise going around when it comes about entrepreneurship and pursuing business. And I look out on the horizon, and it's one thing when you in the trenches, you feel some type of way when you see people that really have never been in the trenches, but they are always giving information as if they were, but they come from a different life. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about, because there's so many people that want to be in business. They're running business that are not viable, but because someone's out there is perpetuating this idea that struggling and suffering through business is, all thumbs up. And if you can suffer for 10 years, somehow mysteriously things are going to work out. And that's a bunch of bull, right? Telling you to suffer while they continue to get gains. So there's a reason for that. Everyone has their own motives for doing things. But when you come from a certain environment and you don't have certain tools, you have to become resourceful and you have to come up with creative ways on how you're going to do it. And what stops a lot of people from truly reaching that success is that they don't know how to become resourceful. So for instance, you have someone that their family started a business, right? And they're able to learn a lot about business as they grow up. So it makes them a lot easier for them to become an entrepreneur than the person that didn't, even if the other person had attributes of being an entrepreneur. It's just harder because that's not the environment that they came out of. So what's happening now is that so many people are in business. They don't know anything about business. They're first generation business. And now they're listening to people that didn't come from the trenches. They came from, lace curtains and silver spoons. And they're telling you embrace the struggle for 10 years. I'm calling bull on that, because that is what's hindering a lot of people, because they're afraid. No one wants to suffer for 10 years, right? So I believe in business, there's a way that you can cultivate entrepreneurship in your own life, your own business, without having to suffer. There's so much information that you can use to actually take action and make transformation. So let's dig deep a little bit in that. So what are the things that it takes to be an entrepreneur? First things first, you got to create a plan of action, right? You have to create a plan, and then that plan has to yield results. So if you've been doing something for years and years and years and it's not yielding anything, now let's just be honest about what business is. Business is creating money, point blank, period. You create a product or a service and people are willing to pay you for it. In exchange, you get money and you build a business. So when someone's giving this BS rhetoric and telling you that it's okay to not make money for 10 years, or it's okay to suffer through it and one day it's going to happen for you. First and foremost, this is not 1992 or 1980 something. We live in an age where technology and apps are here. So you got people, young kids, 19, 20 something years old, first generation millionaire in their family, right? So it doesn't take 10, 20 years to do it. You have to be able to use the technology to your advantage. So that's what I'm talking about. So when you want to get into business, you got to understand all the technological advances that's present, that's going to allow you to get the upper hand in whatever it is that you're doing. So that's first things first. So you got to come up with a concrete plan. And when you come up with that concrete plan, it needs to yield results. So I watch so many people, they're in business, but they're working their business and not building their business. Because if you're not building your business is not going to scale. So only thing you've created is a job for yourself. Now just imagine, struggling with that for 10 to 20 years. You don't embrace any of the new things that's happening. Check this out. How many people listening right now can recall their parents or someone the baby boomer generation that said that they would never use a smartphone, they would never use the internet, they would never adopt any of these technology. Well, guess what? If they didn't, right, they're hurting right now. So the majority of people adopted these technologies because it made life better. Technology has a tendency of making things better, and it makes us as human, our human potential is able to increase as a result of yielding the technology. So let's think about that for a second. So if you're in business, right, and your business that you're running can be replaced by a bot or some type of technology, it might be a great time to start scaling your business to that level of adopting that technology, right? Because you want to be on the forefront of that. You want to be on the front end of that. What happens is most people, they sit, they wait until they have to what? They have to react to an adversity coming their way. Well, I didn't know that, okay, let's throw an example out there. So you got a disruptor like Uber and Lyft that came into the realm of transportation. Now, check. People spent thousands, especially in New York, spent thousands and thousands of dollars to get this medallion that allowed them to build their business. And then a company like Uber comes and just like almost overnight displace them, that either they're going to conform to it or they're going to just suffocate themselves out of the business. So a lot of these people had to conform in order to survive, because what they did was they only reacted to what was happening. They didn't think proactively and think about the future of what's happening. They're not reading. They weren't engaged in seeing what's happening. See, the game doesn't change. The pieces on the board is what moves around. So if the game doesn't change, there's always going to be the next thing that comes out, right? It's always going to be the next thing that comes out. So as an entrepreneur, first of all, you got to create a plan, right? And your plan has to create results. And you have to have an unwavering work ethic. Now, some people say, well, Brandon, okay, I've heard that before. That's a bunch of BS. Yeah, I hear it. But, what's the major ingredient? Consistency, right? That's the ingredients of being an entrepreneur. Is number one, creating a plan, being innovative and looking out and seeing what's happening around you, being a subject matter expert in your particular niche. I watch so many people are in industries and they don't know anything, right? They don't know anything about their particular industry. And I'm like, that amazes me. You should be an expert in your industry. You should be reading books, magazines, you should be part of association, affinity groups in your particular niche, so that you can know what in the world's going on in your industry, so that you're not, swept away when something comes like, well, I didn't know. Well, everyone else knew that was participating, was an active member in that community, right? Uber wasn't just an overnight thing, right? Literally, it was around. People just didn't see it. They didn't think, oh man, this might replace me, right? So just recently I was reading an article, and, there's a lot of people out there right now that are truck drivers. It's one of the biggest industries. And I have a close friend of mine that's a truck driver. And I'm looking at it. So there's two things you can do. You can get mad at something, or you can adjust and respond to what's happening, right? So there's so many people that are truck drivers and they're in that truck driver industry. But check this out. There's companies right now that are building technology to make that stuff autonomous. So it's only a matter of time. So you're looking within the next 10 to 15 years that these people that are driving trucks will be replaced by robots, right? Right now, they're currently working on technology for robots to be able to sort things and be able to actually tangibly look at stuff, sort things out, and pick them up. So you're talking about low-level positions at various companies like Amazon and what have you, that these positions may be going away in the near future. What are people doing to prepare for that, right? We have all this technology, but only a few of us are using it. So I know people that literally do not have a computer, right? So there's certain things that I consider to be non-negotiable. If you're an entrepreneur, and you don't have a computer, it's non-negotiable. You as an entrepreneur not having internet is non-negotiable. You as an entrepreneur not reading at least one book a month is non-negotiable. These are things that you cannot negotiate. These are things that you got to do. You need to be reading a book that's in your industry. You got to do that in order to be able to survive. Once again, it goes back to one. So planning. Two, right? The second part of that is your plan has to yield results, right? Put forth the work, have an unwavering work ethic, and then follow it by consistency, right? So meaning you have a game plan based on facts, based on numbers, and based on statistics. What that does, because remember, yesterday when I talked about it, I said there's two things that happen. One, there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to make it, and the 50-50 chance you're going to fail, right? That's just what it is, right? So if you want to increase your chances of failing, don't do anything. Don't read anything. Don't try to be inspired. Don't try to go to new heights. Don't do anything. But if you want to increase the chances of your success, then you must start, you have to start investing the time, energy, and resources in the thing that's going to yield you the best results, right? So if you're in business and it's something that you need to be doing, but for some reason you keep procrastinating and putting it off, right? How long do you think that's going to happen? Think about it. The power doesn't come in tomorrow. The power doesn't come in next week or next month or next year, right? The power is in the now, right? You can't do nothing about the past. You're here in the now. So why would you plan for something 2 days that you can do right now, that you have the power and the will to do it now? What is it that you're afraid of? Are you afraid of failing? So conceptually, I think, and I've also done this myself during my journey, I can honestly say that sometimes you rather feel the pain further down the road than right now. To see if it happens right now, if I fail right now, I have to feel that failure right now. But if I procrastinate and put it off, I feel it later, and later is not now, so I don't feel it, right? So we keep putting things off because we don't want to feel the pain of it. But in order for you to grow, you got to feel the pain. It's called growing pains, right? You're going to bump your head. You're going to get bruised up as you go, especially if you're first generation. But you can't listen to the rhetoric out there or people telling you that it's okay to be in business and don't make money for 10 years. It's okay to be in business and don't make money, right? Because it's just a struggle. Just put your head down. That's bull. Right? Business is not designed that way. Business is not designed for you to struggle. If you're an independent person and you're a CEO of your company and you got a part-time gig, sideline, this and the third, something's wrong. You got to go back to the drawing board and work on the what? Your plan. Because something's wrong with the plan. Your plan of action is not properly instituted. Let's just say you got a good plan, right? But your plan's not yielding results. Why is your plan not yielding results, right? Maybe because you're not working. So I see that a lot. People willing to bust their butts on people's jobs, but when it comes to their own business, they take off, they relax, right? They're the worst employee that they could have, right? So if you're your own employee, and you're the employer of yourself, right? You're a fool. You're right. Just like a individual that goes in a courtroom and tries to be their own attorney, right? You're a fool. You have a fool for a client. Like, why would you do that? Don't go 150% on someone else's thing and then come to your thing and do 20% and say it doesn't work, or you listen to BS rhetoric, Instagrams and all these other stuff that's out there, all this noise telling you it's okay for you to do 20%. Put your head down and do it for the next 10 years, right? They're not doing that, right? They're coming up with systematic plans. The game doesn't change, just the players move around. So you got to come up with a plan that's going to yield you results. If you're not getting the results, go back to the drawing board. If the plan is solid and you're still not getting results, then guess what? You're not working it, right? And I don't know what, everyone's level of work is different. So I don't know what your level of work is, but be honest with yourself. See, you can lie to everyone else, but don't lie to yourself about the level of work that you're really putting in it. Because there's been times I looked at myself, and to the outside, people think I'm going so hard that I know I'm not even on 30. right? Because I know my true potential, but I scale it back because I don't want to do that because I'm not comfortable with doing that. I don't want no one to critique what I'm doing, and I don't want no one to judge me. But that is what holds you back. Guess what? The people that are judging you, the people that are saying these things about you, you're the one that's creating something. They're judging you on what you've created. They have not created anything. Don't worry about the trolls. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about the people that don't have a life, that decide they want to come on your stuff and post a comment. But so what? They don't have anything better to do with their lives. But if you truly want it and you want to go after it, you got to be willing to make the sacrifice to put it all on the line, that you're going to come up with a plan, that your plan is going to yield results because you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to be consistent. That's it. That's it. That's the magic formula there, right? You can read all the books. You can look at all the videos. You can look at all these different things that's out there. At the end of the day, that's the formula, period. If you heard this message, this is the formula. I'm giving it to you. So all that BS that people charge you thousands and thousands of dollars for, I'm telling you, this is the formula, right? You want to be successful. First things first, you got to come up with a plan. If you don't plan, you plan to fail, right? You don't plan. You're just saying whatever happens is whatever. I guarantee whatever will happen to you, right? And you're not going to like whatever. Whatever's going to be your worst enemy. Whatever's going to slap the taste out of your mouth. That's what whatever's going to do. Right? I don't want whatever coming to me. I want what I'm willing to work for. I want to get what I'm willing to work for, what I'm willing to strive for, what I'm willing to dedicate my life to, right? Getting active in the game. Coming up with a plan. So if you're sitting home right now, wake up. Listen, I'm dropping jewels on you, right? Because some of you guys are getting the next book. You know, I'm talking about 20 books. Half of them you don't read them. You don't even read the books. Right? But you're getting 20 books a month to show, just to show, hey, I got all these books. Look at me, right? You got this mindset where you want to look good losing. You can have 1,000 books. I don't care about people that show the videos and all the books behind it. I don't care, right? You can have 1,000 books. You want to look good losing. You don't want to look good losing. You want to look good winning. You want to win. Some people just want to look good as the boat goes down. Hey guys, this is not a sinking boat where the band's playing. I'm not throwing that movie out, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You know the boat's going down, the band's still playing. Nah, I don't want to go. You don't want to go out like that, right? You get ready to go down, but you want to go to some music. You want them to play you out. You don't want to look good losing. You want to actually win. You want to truly win. And the only way you're going to win, listen, if you even heard nothing I said this morning, if you want to win, I'm telling you the magic formula, the Krabby Patty formula here, guys, right? Wake up. Listen to what I'm telling you. You want the formula, I'm giving it to you. Free 99. One, you got to come up with a plan. I can't emphasize that enough. You got to come up with a solid plan, right? You're saying to yourself, well, Brandon, I don't know how to come up with a plan. Guess what? Get with some like-minded people, some people that want to work, some people that want more out of life. They can help you put the plan together, right? Number one, come up with a plan. Two, your plan has to yield results. You shouldn't be in business for 3-4 years not making a dime. And someone telling you that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's bull, right? You can't put your light bill, you can't put your bills 3-4 years out, right? They come every month consistently. They don't want partial payment. They don't want a half a payment. They want full payment, right? Some people out there, I'm all prayed up. You might be all prayed up, but you're not all paid up. And I share that with you because I remember someone telling me that. You can be all prayed up all you want. You can be praying, but are you paid up, right? So in order for anything, the universe, God, higher power to help you, you got to put forth some effort into that. And if you're not putting forth no effort, nothing's going to come out of it. If you're still doing the same thing you were doing 5 years ago and you're yielding the same exact results, and the only thing you can do is complain about it and say, well, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing, but you don't do it, dude, I'm telling you, just stop. Just go ahead and get a job. I'm not being negative. Maybe this is not for you because I'm giving you the formula this morning, guys. I'm giving you the formula. You come up with a plan. The plan has to yield results, meaning you got to make money. If you're in business, you got to be making money. Business, go into business not to make money, not just to say, hey, I'm in business. I got a corporation. I'm just here. What in the world does that mean? Doesn't mean anything, right? Everyone is a numbers game. Life is a numbers game. What numbers are you yielding in your business? If you're not yielding the numbers that you want, here's an opportunity for you to quietly sit down, go to the drawing board, come up with a plan, figure out building a team, right? Ensuring that the plan that you come up with can actually yield results, that you see a way how you can make money to support the mission. Because guess what? I don't care what you're doing. Nonprofit, I'm talking to those that runs nonprofits. Listen, I don't care how positive your message is. I don't care how many lives you're trying to transform. If you do not have no money, there's no message without the money. There's no mission without the money. Now, people can disagree and say, "Oh, there are certain instances where people have went out there and they've done some great things without any money, but eventually the money came, right?" But those are far and few apart. You can't put yourself in that same cycle, right? The majority of people can't do that. So you have to be realistic about it by putting in plans because you want to be successful. So I'm not saying it's impossible to be successful. That's the last thing I'm saying. I'm just saying that there's preparation, because if you keep going into whimsical, get positive for the moment, go to the next seminar, read the next book, and that's how you're doing it, every year is going to be the same thing. Right? Where, if it's not this year, it's going to be next year. And then next year comes, no, it's not this year, it's going to be the next year. Right? So now it's coming to the point, it's 2020 where we have clear vision and we're saying, look, in order for me to have this, I got to start planning. It's better for me to start planning now. See, it would have been great if you'd done it 10 years ago. That was the best time to do it. But the second best time is right now. What in the world are you going to stop listening to all the noise out there? People telling you that you suck because they're great and they had an advantage that you don't, right? The only difference is now, what is it that you got to do in your 24 hours? We all got 24 hours. I don't care what that guy or that girl out there is telling you, right? Because a lot of people sending mixed messages out. I don't care what they're saying. I'm telling you right now, everyone has 24 hours. What are you doing in your 24 hours? That's going to make the ultimate difference, right? Of you being successful or not. Point blank, period. Don't let it get confused. Don't let that message get confused in all the smoke and rhetoric that's being polluted out there right now. Is that a lot of us, we're entrepreneurs, we're first generation entrepreneurs, and a lot of us don't know what to do. So I'm telling you, you got to come up with a concrete plan. What are you doing in your 24 hours, right? That's the only thing that separates you, because your competition or the person's life that you see that you want to have, they're doing something in their 24 hours that you're not doing in yours, right? You're sleeping when they're awake, right? You taking a break when they're grinding. You got to figure that out. You got to come up with a strategic plan that's going to yield you the results, right? And you're going to back it up with an unwavering work ethic, followed by consistency, and you're going to be successful, right? Hey guys, this is the Start Thinking Forward morning show with Brandon L. Draper. I hope this morning inspired you. And if you want to connect with us, maybe you want to learn how to write your book, we're getting ready to drop a course coming out, Write, Publish, and Profit Course 3.0. If you want to be a part of that, please visit us online at www.pinnaclepointpublishing.com. Also, follow us on Instagram at The Real Motivational King, right? So, with that being said, guys, until tomorrow, I appreciate you listening and tuning in. I hope that this has inspired you. And please share this message so that we can help other entrepreneurs get on track for their business, their life, for the new year and this new day. Wake up with Start Thinking Forward. And remember, it's never too late to start thinking forward. I'm out.